虫けらが神を見ようとはね。覆滅。
次の仕事はおさわり禁止。この仕事は排除するべきですね。
虫けら。七葉のもと生きながら会える僕だけだ。そうさあさあ奮起。昇格。風雪の縮図。相関化粧。内視禁止。そんなはず。失うなんて。人気すぎるのも悩ましい。
裁きの雷無我の境地。やっふんそこてほっほっよっせっはっやっほっやっはっせっせっせっふっここより弱滅の時。ふっはっせっやっはっこれふっはっ ありません。それ稲光、すなわち永遠なり。裁きの雷。ここより弱滅の時。稲光、すなわち永遠なり。
行こう。
光り輝くがいい。
逃げ道はありません。
いざ。
見切りました。ひゃっはってっふんふっはっふってそこふんやっふっできなさい。とだふってせっそれ無我の境地。
決勝せよ。私に任せなさい。
逃げ道はありません。稲光、すなわち永遠なり。
よ、ここに。
裁きの雷。無我の境地。見切りました。まめきなさい。
調子が悪いなら休んだ方が。
ここより弱滅の時。
今ここに生息。
裁きの雷。稲光、すなわち永遠なり。
のようにうなれ。粉々よ。
いますよ。せーそれはっせーよっここより弱滅の時せっはっ
風よ。
雷鳴
まだ僕がいるのを忘れないで。
そこ雷鳴がやんでしまう
Yeah, well, that's what happens when we don't have a fucking healer and someone fucking starts it ahead of them.
周囲の方へ 見切りました
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm not gonna wait because they're gonna die. Like, I come in and I see Nahida already. I get practically no health. I'm like, oh, okay, well she's dead. Just like I died instantly because my healing items suck. And the fact that you shouldn't you can't rely on healing items. And then the fact that it started early, it's just like, well, we're fucked.
この美しい風景は
Yeah, I was thinking about swapping to Kokomi too. I really should have. Like the fact that he went to Lenny, I'm like, oh, there's a Lenny. Now they can get reactions, but it's like Nahida works best with Raiden. So essentially, in that party we just had, what one of them should have done. Actually, not one of them. What Lenny should have done. Lenny should have swapped to a healer because Nahida Raiden work really well together. Raiden Neuvillette work really well together. Nahida and Neuvillette don't really work that well together, simply because the dendro cores don't really like. You can create dendro cores, but like you really need Raiden to actually like do more shit with it. Nah, after just getting screwed like that, I'm not gonna carry a level 70 when another person wants to be Yai Miko. She's a support and not a, she's a support and that's it. Raiden is a sub DPS, not a main DPS. Now with Nahida, maybe, that's doable, right? It's possible with the Nahida. Nahida, Yai Miko, Raiden, that's fine. But we need another character. We need an actual healer. Because we didn't have a healer, and he was swapped from someone who wasn't a healer, a level 70 not healer, to another level 70 not healer. Which is just like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, if you're going to be level 70, at the very least, be a healer. Like, that's it. Be a Kokomi, be a Barbara would be fine. Just get your level 70 Barbara in there. It's not fucking rocket science. Just why? Why did he swap the? Why did he swap the Xingqiu? Kazuha would have been better, and Kazuha is not even that good. We don't need more support in our support team. So that does kind of suck when you get people who are just stupid. Awesome. Thank you, person, for bringing your fucking targeted thing into the group. Like, it was fine. Obviously, like, it's better to have more supports than more DPS, right? It's better to have a team of 4 supports than a team of 4 DPS. Simply, I mean, sure, 4 DPS could succeed, right? If you're able to burn it and burst it, sure, 4 DPS is fine. The problem is it's not reliable. You can't rely and be like, oh, I have 4 DPS, so this will be fine, right? Nah, because if any one of them die, you're fucked, right? So then it's like, well, there's no point in being 4 DPS. You might as well have been 3 support and 1 healer, because then all 4 of you would have been alive, and the healer, even though they're a healer, would still provide more benefit and utility than and then the extra DPS that died, right? A dead DPS is no DPS. So, it's just one of these tough things where it's, yeah, there's no, like, I've done 4 DPS runs of those kind of bosses, and we crush it, right? But, like, it's not guaranteed. Like, that first run, we died. Because we didn't have any healers, we weren't ready for a no healer run. The DPS wasn't good enough to do a no healer run, so we died. So, like, that's the problem, is you have to have people ready for it. You have to have DPS super high. Like, you have to have really souped up DPS to actually do it. And that's not always the case.
急がなくてもいいのよ。 星と深淵。無事今日の依頼。星と深淵。この同点。
Hello. Pretty good. How about you? Yeah, it's very pretty. Yeah, sure. It's essentially just an action combat exploration game. So you have a team of 4 people who wander around the world killing things. And the way the action combat is done, I think, is really well. So like there are like 5 or 6 weapon types: bow, claymore, sword, catalyst, which is essentially like for like mages and shit, and spear. And then each character has their own like animations, but typically like each weapon type has similar types of actions and stuff. This, for instance, is my Serenity pot, which is essentially player housing. So like that over there in the distance, I made myself. I crafted the items and placed them there. Same for there. And so like, she's a bow user, as you can tell. She's a spear user. This is a claymore. And then a single sword. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend trying it simply because it's free. Like, it's a free-to-play game. Well, of course, there is the stigmata that comes with the free-to-play game model. Because, yes, it's free-to-play, but, I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with gamings, but free-to-play games are often the most expensive ones. Because to get characters, you pull for them. Which, not surprisingly, costs money. Because that's how they make money. And how they're able to produce the game. Now, you can play the game free to play, and people do it. But it's the kind of thing where it's like if you'll see a lot of new characters, you see a lot of cool characters, but you won't be able to like, every new character you see, you won't be able to get. Like, you either spend money to get them, or you do your free to play thing because like they do give you oops, shit. You do get currency in the game. Let's go to another nice place to look at. You get like every day you can do dailies, you can do quests, you can do exploration, and in doing that you get the Primo crystals. I assumed as much. I have about a. I'd like to say 50%, but really, these days it seems more like a 75% chance that the person who arrives is advertising their own shit. But no, thank you. I'm not interested. I'm content doing what I'm doing, and I stream this on my PS5, so it makes things a little more inconvenient. And so I'm just not gonna bother. But I would recommend playing this game for if you like, because I mean, as you can see, it's very, very pretty. I think it's fun. Obviously, if you spend a lot of money, it's even funner because you have all the cool characters. But even if you don't spend money, I like the open world exploration. Like, if you see these 100% here, kind of, it's hard to see because of the contrast. We can see 100%. That 100% is increased by doing quests and finding treasure chests. So, like, when you're out in the world, there are just treasure chests littered all over the place. So it's fun to, like, wander around, having a treasure chest to explore, be like, oh, look, treasure chest. Woo-hoo. You get a little dopamine hit from getting treasure chests. The treasure chests themselves give primo gems, which are used to pull for characters. So exploring is a good way to get primo gems, which allows you to get characters. Doing dailies is another way to get them. And then, of course, spending money, which is the company's preferred way of getting them. But, yeah, I definitely recommend it. Fun game. But I've been playing it since day one. So, like, I've had 3 years of saving up, and I've also spent money. So it's just like, yeah, obviously my experience is not going to be the same for you or a new player. Like, because I remember my new player experience, and it was kind of rough. And I even tried a free-to-play account, thinking, okay, well, let's try free-to-play. Like, let's see how tough it really is, how the game feels like from a free-to-play character perspective. And it was rough. Not simply because it was free to play, but like because I've been playing the game so long and I'm just so used to having built characters. A level 90 character with artifacts and weapons. And just starting it's not even starting a free to play account. Well, I mean, I guess it is somewhat starting a free to play account, but starting a new account, like you're at level 40 and your artifacts suck. And in fact, like you have to get the AR 40, I think, before you can even guarantee 5-star artifacts. And 5-star artifacts is when you really start, farming. And those set bonuses are really, really important, especially for certain character types. Like Anemo needs Viridescent Venerer. If you don't have Viridescent Venerer, you're kind of shit as an Anemo support. So. And you're not going to get that until you farm it. And you're not going to farm it until you're AR40. So it sucks at low level if you've played the game before. When you're first playing out, you don't even notice. Like, you're just like, oh, cool. Like, you don't know how strong you can be. So you're just like, oh, cool, I've gotten stronger. I'm going along. I'm doing this shit. I've gotten better and better, and I'm progressing through. But for me, who's been, like, playing for a while, going back and having all my characters feel so weak, because, like, I'm just used to having a good team combo, team synergy, power, leveled talents and shit. So I'm able to, like, finish overworld fights relatively simply and quickly, having to do it with far less characters, far less options of team, far less team options, far less built characters. So every hit they do, even though all enemies are weaker because they're a low world level, like, I'm still hitting them for less percentage of their health as I would as a higher level with my higher level guys. So that's kind of rough. But for a new player, you wouldn't really notice that, like, because you have no sense of scale. You have no context. It's like, a battle takes you a minute, and you're like, yeah, that's normal. Like, all my battles take me a minute. Whereas, like, if you're, max level character, battles end in seconds. Like, you can finish a group of 5 in, like, 10 seconds, whereas, if you're low level, it would take you a minute, which is still not it's not crazy. It's not like takes forever, but it's just when you're used to having battles end in 10 seconds, having them now take a minute is surprising. Or it feels like you're hitting like wet needle. So I think that definitely affects so that's why I basically stopped too. Plus, like, it's fun to explore and find all the treasure chests, but there are like thousands of treasure chests, and so having to get all those thousands of treasure chests, and then play a new game where you have to do literally all of it again. Even more so, because like I do it for fun. I enjoy exploring, and I enjoy 100%ing it. But if I'm free to play, it's not as much fun anymore because it's far more required. Because every single chest gets you Prima Gems, and every single Prima Gem matters because you're not spending money. So you need every single Prima Gem so you can get the character you want. So, yeah. So not only is it kind of put a damper on the fun, because now instead of just doing it for fun, exploring the areas for fun, killing things, finding chests for fun, you feel in the back of your mind compelled to, because you need those Prima Gems. Which I think put a damper on it. So that's why I stopped my free to play thing. I'm like, yeah. Plus, it just takes time, like exploring the new area. So it takes hours. It takes hours to do it all. To do all the quests, even more hours to 100% every region, and just thinking that I would do all that, and then I'd have to double it, and maybe even more so. Because like, if I was going to do a free to play account, my free to play person would have to come in again because I need the Prima Gems from doing the quests and from doing the exploration and chests. So I would have to do it. And as a free-to-play account, my account would be worse. So it would take even longer because I wouldn't be killing things as quickly. Although, like, maybe by the time I got to this point, my characters would all be level 90. I would have been able to farm some artifacts that are good. Like, my artifacts, are farmed purely from, the artifacts I have in my current characters, or I could have farmed the exact same stuff on a free-to-play account. Like, there's not much of a difference for that. But, like, I wouldn't have the weapons. I wouldn't have the character weapons. I usually try to get the character weapons for each character because I like how they look on the character. So I wouldn't have this for Raiden if I got Raiden, because I just wouldn't have the Prima Gems to get the weapon as well. And the problem is, Raiden has the catch, so the catch is a good alternative. But the problem is, like, for some characters, some of their best weapons are like event weapons. Like Albedo's event weapon is his best in slot, essentially. I mean, there's a 3-star that's a pretty good alternative, but like, having the inability to go back and buy them is kind of sucks. Because like, essentially Genshin has given away a free 4-star character and a free weapon every other patch. So it's free weapon on like odd patch, like free weapon on this patch, then a free character on the next patch, and then a free weapon on the next patch. It alternates like that. So in 3 years, as you can imagine, like and it's by patch, it's not by month or anything, but so it's a month and a half. So there's like it's a month and a half. So what, like 8 patches a year? So in a year, they would have given away 4 weapons and 4 characters. So starting a new free-to-play account sucks because like you're missing those, 12 weapons, 12 free 4-stars you could have gotten. Which is not the end of the world, but like especially for the 4-stars, because it's like you can get those 4-stars. Like if you save up your Prima Gems and you're pulling for characters, you'll eventually get 4-stars. It's not a huge end of the world thing, but the weapons are far more important. And like now I have a fuckload of these billets, so I can craft any weapon for me. But like starting a free-to-play account, starting a new account, would mean that these would go back to 0. I would not be able to craft a single weapon for myself, and I would have to just use the 3-stars and 4-stars that are just given away. It definitely makes it more. I mean, I can see the fun in it for some people to be like, yeah, trying to make things work, the theory crafting, the experimenting around, the thrill of getting a new billet, so you can be like, cool. Now I can finally get the Claymore, the best in slot Claymore for free to play on this character or that character. It matters more compared to me, who has like a shitload of weapons and so like, yeah, getting a new billet for me is not huge importance to have so many. And I mean, I did craft pretty much every weapon too, so it's like whatever. So it means less for me because I've gotten most of them. So. But still, it like it does make it a little less meaningful. But similarly, I just don't want to do. It just it's not as much fun. Like if I had like all the time in the world, I would do it just for shits and giggles. Like if the Genshin was my only game, if I was a content creator, I definitely would do it. But not as I am. Simply because it's just like it would be a huge time sink to be a free to play player. And it's just like it's fun, but like I don't know, just having the necessity of exploring kind of puts a damper on it. Maybe once I get like max level, max AR, and I can farm 5-star artifacts, then every new zone would just be for fun, re-exploring just for the primo gems without needing like, right, while having characters that don't completely suck. But like that takes a while, and like when you're first starting out, like no one knew like when I first started playing the game, when everyone was first started playing the game, everyone sucked. Everyone sucked. There was no comparisons. Everyone didn't know what the fuck was going on. So it was a wild west if you could just do whatever you wanted and feel like you're missing out. But now that I know the meta, now that I know what a max level character looks like, it's harder to kind of go back and like essentially put handcuffs on myself to fight older battles just so I could grind and get the weapons and max more characters as best I can. And some of these, I mean, like at this point, like on my main count, yeah, I'm doing maintenance. Like I'm popping in every 30 minutes to an hour every day. Not much, right? But like if I started a new free-to-play account, like that 30 minutes to an hour, well, an hour is to do 100% everything, like the hangout events and all that shit. Dailies, yeah, maybe take about 30 minutes. So 30 minutes a day for my main account. But for my other account, it'd be 30 minutes a day just to do the dailies, just the same. But also, I would have, the entire world to explore and all the quests to do. Like, it's just like, yeah. Something, it's the kind of thing where I kind of should do at the very least, just so I can, like, do the events and get the weapons and stuff. But, like, there's some events that just take a while, like the potion event. Like, potion event was really fun. I really enjoyed the potion event. But it was, there were parts of it that were a little tedious, right? Parts of it that took a little bit of time, a little bit of grinding, and just thinking I would need to do it twice. Like, the first time is fun. You enjoy it for the first time. But thinking, doing it again, that's rough. Like, even if I did potion event and completed it day one, which I don't think is even possible, but let's say I did it, right? And then waited to the very end to blast it on my other account, maybe after I've forgotten it, it's just like, it's just not as fun, right? Like all the wonder you had from doing it and the happiness you had from achieving your goals and all that stuff is just going to be like, yeah, well, I already did this on my other account. I'm not feeling it, right? So I get that. So that's why I'm just not going to do a free-to-play account. Like, I'd have to have, like, literally nothing else to do. But I have so many backlogged games. Like, I need to finish Dragon's Dogma 2, finish all the side quests in Batal, and then get the true ending, which I didn't get the first time because I was going for the trophy for the peaceful ending. And I knew I hadn't completed some of the quests. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do New Game Plus it. Make sure I complete every single quest because I know I missed a few. So this time I'm being more of a completionist, looking up guides to figure out where all the quests are, just so I don't miss any missable ones. And then I'm gonna get the true ending and then be done with that. And then Sandland's coming out on the weekend or on Friday or something like that. I want to play Sandland. I played the demo. It was good, but like there was no story to it. It was just like wander around the desert, playing around with the mechs and stuff, and that was fun. But like, I don't like purposeless shit. Like, what gets me to play games is the story. The story compels me to do something. If the story's like, hey, you need to get here to here, but you need to also be this strong, then sure, I'll explore everything, collect all the parts, become stronger, get the best weapons, within reason, and I'll do it. But like, so the Sandland demo was purely just dumping you in the middle of the desert, saying, okay, here you go, get a feel for the combat, which, was great. I did enjoy it, but like once I've once I got a feel for how tank, armor suit, and motorcycle combat is, I'm like done. I'm like, okay, cool, I got a feel for that. Like, fighting 10 more enemies is not going to change how I feel about the combat, and there's no real reason to explore because you're like locked in this little area. So, yeah. So, either way. So yeah, there's that game. There's just so many games to play that going through and playing Genshin as a free-to-play account is just like I have like no desire to do so, just simply because like there's really nothing in it for me. I mean, I would enjoy it. Like, it's not like I would enjoy it, but like at the back of my mind, I would always be kind of like thinking, "Oh man, I'm just so weak compared to my main account," and like, "Oh man, I need to grind more exploration or adventure rank," and so I feel compelled to, and that would just put a damper on it. So like, if my first playthrough was a 10 out of 10, this would be, second playthrough on a free-to-play account would be like a 7, maybe an 8, but probably a 7, simply because like it's no longer new, and it wouldn't be and being weaker would be less interesting, and take more time, and I would constantly be comparing myself, knowing the potential my characters could have, and then just not living up to it simply because of my low level, lack of artifacts, and all that shit. Like, even the 4 stars you get, like, they're not bad, but if you don't build them, they're kind of shit, and you can't really build them until much later. Hello. You just caught me at the end of my rant, and I was just actually about to log off. It's a shame. Yeah, I started a little earlier today because I have other shit planned later, so wanted to pop this off real quick. So I did my dailies, did a few weekly bosses, and then I was ranting about this game, how it would be to play this as a free to play, or I did actually try a free to play account, and I was talking about how it just wasn't as fun for me. So not because like being new is bad by any stretch, but like it's just that like I have a lot of level 90 characters. I have a lot of characters. I have all this shit. Playing a free to play account is just rough because like I'm constantly comparing my like free to play characters to my built characters, and even like my free to play, even like the characters they give you as part of the quest, like I built them so they're strong, but like going back and having to play the game as a new player is rough because like you don't have the artifacts, you don't have the weapons, you don't have the levels, you don't have the talent levels. It's just like everything feels so weak. You feel like you're hitting up like a wet noodle. Even if you're like playing the best possible, you just feel weak as a experienced player coming back and playing as a new player. If you're starting out, it's fine because you have no context. You're like, okay, cool, I'm strong. I'm killing these enemies in this amount of time, and then you get like better weapons and artifacts, and you're like, oh, you're killing them slightly faster. You feel that progression. Whereas for me, it's like there's such a huge regression going back to new player status, and even like incremental power gains still feel like crap because you're always thinking like, oh yeah, it's a +1 in my power, but like I'm already -60 in power from before, so like yeah, you're the -60, getting a +1 when you're already -60 is like doesn't feel that different. But still, it's fun. Maybe if I had literally nothing else to do, I might continue my free-to-play account just to do more exploration. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I might be on later today to play some Dragon's Dogma 2. I still have my Batal quest to do, but you can always watch the VODs if you want. But I will see you all next time.